Hoi allemaal, welkom terug op mijn kanaal. Vandaag we are getting into tutorial number 17 of the palette focus of the not Natasha Denona, the Pat McGrath Sunlit Seduction. And as of lately, I have been dipping into the Bijou Brilliance, the Bejeweled Temptation palette because of the Coral Nectar. I really do think Coral Nectar is most definitely there are a few other shades I'd say are missing for the Sunlit Seduction. But for the most part, Coral Nectar, as we have seen, yeah, they're still doing construction, and I hope they are almost done with the road, which they are turning into a bike lane for us, which is amazing. But for the most part, Coral Nectar, as you have seen, don't mind this was from my husband, who gave me a kiss on my forehead and tried to give me a hickey. Yeah. Coral Nectar has been a beautiful, beautiful color so far. And like I said in the last tutorial, I want to do Coral Nectar with more Copper Dawn today to see how that really goes. Coral Nectar with the Blitz Crimson Ecstasy, beautiful, gorgeous. Coral Nectar with the Astral Gilded Aura, beautiful, gorgeous. So with the Copper Dawn today, I want to see what that will really do to this look and how it will amp up the palette. But for the most part, let me go ahead and prep my eyes with the eyeshadow Pro Filter eyeshadow primer by Fenty Beauty, and we will get into this tutorial. All right, so the eyes are prepped with the Pro Filter eyeshadow primer. I hope they look related. We'll see. First and foremost, I think I will go into Hypnotic Bronze just for the crease for this look. I'm gonna go in with a fluffy brush. Fluffy brush. Smell it good. Anyways, fluffy brush. And I actually wanna, because I know I did this in another palette. Was it Utopian Dream? I don't remember. Where I kind of used the bronze for the crease. Or was it Natasha Denona's gold palette? I really don't remember. But let's just think outside of the box and use a shimmer for the crease. Let's get, edgy. Whatever. But bronze, Hypnotic Bronze, every Mothership palette has some type of bronze. Copper bronze, bronze dawn, bronze tan, peach bronze. You get the idea. There's a lot of bronze within the profile, eyeshadow palette profile of Pat McGrath. Also with Natasha Denona, there's a lot of bronze also. What was it? There was the bronze palette that she released, I believe in 2020, because I think that was the last palette I bought before I moved to the Netherlands, and that is a beautiful bronze palette as well. But this actually has a little bit more warmth to it. And even as a crease color, it really doesn't have so much of the shimmer, which is kind of nice. So you can definitely use this more as a crease transition if you wanted to, whatnot. But I think for the most part, I will use Extreme Vermilion Dust, obviously, because that is the smoke shade in this palette. And just build it up. This is actually this is really nice as a transition shade for the crease. All right, not too shabby. We're getting there. Do they look like twins? But here we are. It is February 3rd. Like I said, you're probably going to see this palette in April or May. So that's how early I do this, because right now I am also starting my next palette focus, as you guys saw. The Anastasia, I'm not going to say eyeshadow palette focus, the next palette focus, because there are pigments in that, is Anastasia Beverly Hills and almost like Trixie Mattel. Wow. Alyssa Edwards. Beast palette is what I'm doing currently for the summer, and I think hopefully by July I could start doing the palette focus for winter. That's how early in advance I do all of this. Next, we are going to go into Copper Dawn. Just like the other ones, going to start it off right in the middle and just blend it out. Oh, this is such a beautiful color. Copper Dawn is definitely a moment. And I know this will look like liquid peach gold if I were to wet the brush, but we're not going to do that. Not yet, at least. But this is just giving me everything I need. It's like it's a copper, that's for sure. Like a copper bronze, a copper peach bronze, I would say. Maybe this transitioning into the blitz or extreme or sexual terrestrial would actually look nice. Ooh. See, getting ideas. This is just it's doing something for me, that's for sure. Going in with the fluffy brush, just to really blend out the crease and the transition of it all. Here we go. There's a echt mooi kleurtje. And those two definitely blend well together, that's for sure. Thank goodness. So, Coral Nectar will be the inner shade, obviously, and a little bit more of the brow bone highlight as well. Oof. I swear, Coral Nectar. Okay, the creative team of Pat McGrath, get with the program. Please do this as an eyeshadow single because it is much needed, in my personal opinion. Because this has this as a highlighter as well, maybe on tan to deeper skin tones. Ooh, child. Ooh, child. I mean, missed opportunity hugely. Well, also nobody really has been doing combinations like this for any tutorials that I have seen thus far that I have searched. But for the most part, oh my word, y'all, this is definitely a moment. This is definitely doing something. An extreme vermilion dusk, like I said, as the liner, as the smoke shade, because that is what they gave us, because they thought they ate. But they didn't really ate with this. Is that even a thing? But for the most part, we are going to see how well this builds up first before I continue with everything. I just love these, the pigments, how easy they are able to build upon each other, the intensity, the drama of it all. Perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and do both eyes like this, and I will definitely smoke it out into the crease a little bit, and then we will see where we are at before we see the final look. So this is where we are at. I mean, this is such a beautiful combination. I mean, oof. Child, girl, Coral Nectar I should just do a series strictly on Coral Nectar, like with all the combinations that I had in mind. Maybe. We shall see. Like I said, it's gonna be a very busy year. Consistency, dedication, determination, tutorial, editing. So, tutorial number 17. I am digging this for sure. I would say definitely in conjunction of other palettes. I am digging this palette more. From a consumer point of view, I think it is a waste of money for me, but from an artistry point of view, I actually do enjoy this. But like I said, if you have this, if you have other palettes, I mean, I'm very curious to see how this would, because later on this year, I will be dropping a palette focus of the Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk Beautyverse Pillow Talk eyeshadow palette, because that does give me the same vibes as this, but I am also very curious, and I may or may not get the Patrick Ta Major Dimensions #2, which is his Rose palette. So I'm very curious as to how these three palettes will look very close, I am sure. But some of these duochromes and the highlighter are the topper shades I'm more excited to dive into. Like with the Beautyverse, what is this? The Pillow Talk Beautyverse Party Topper and the Pink Talk Crystal Glow. So this is the topper and this is the Crystal Glow. I mean, like, I'm very curious as to how those would look as well, because they obviously have more of that rose glow. But I actually was very curious of on Offline, the Future Matte, the dark one in this one. I am searching for the, was it 2023 Beautyverse eyeshadow palette, because it had more of those like pastels, which I was very surprised that Charlotte Tilbury did something like that. But I don't need it because I have more than enough. But for the most part, I really do love more cool tones. I am doing these palettes to get myself into more warm tones and just to get an idea of everything, of what warm will be more on my skin tone. So without further ado, I will go ahead and continue to do the rest of my face, and you guys will see the final look in a moment. Here is the final look of tutorial number 17 of the Sunlit Seduction palette focus. I am digging this. I love this. Okay, keep the lips very neutral, so I'm gonna go with the NARS Intimate. What is this? Soft Matte Tinted Lip Balm, and this is the shade Intimate. Nice shade of a, like, I'd say like a taupey brown. Complements my lip color, that's for sure. But very, very hydrating nonetheless. And keeping the lips pretty tamed and neutral because I want the focus to be on the eyes. Tutorial number 17, digging this. Obviously in conjunction with other palettes, I am really starting to get a lot more inspiration. But the palette on its own, it's all right. Now, foundation is, like, I just love these colors together. These are very, very beautiful. Foundation is Forever Glow 3N and 4N mixed together. Bronzer is Airbrush Flawless Bronzer by Charlotte Tilbury in 310. Highlighter. I think this came out in the whole time. Of course, There was a moment when it was consistently high turnover with so many brands, new collection, new collaborations. Like it seemed like every month and a half to 3 months, there was a new collaboration, new palette, new this and that. Highlighter, this collaboration, I think, didn't get the views and attention that it should have. The Smashbox Vlada collection, collaboration. This was beautiful. It still is, to be quite honest. What is it? This is like 10 grams worth of product for a highlighter. This is the Petal Metal Highlighter Prismatic Petal. And this is that duochrome, I would say rose gold, like a true duochrome rose gold. And then they also came out, I mean, even the packaging was amazing. There was also the other Rosemantique highlighter, which is more of this deeper one. The embossment, breathtaking. And there was a little gold one, I believe. Blush on top of that, I love this combination with this highlighter, is the Double Take Cream and Powder She's That Girl by Patrick Ta. So this, in conjunction with this, I mean, yes. Powder under the concealer and under the face a little bit is obviously the Translucent Crystal Setting Press Powder by NARS. Still using this. I want to go through this all over the face, this in certain areas just to highlight and brighten a little bit more. But tutorial number 17. I am loving this. But I do think, like I said, next tutorial, I actually really want to do more of a Astral Amethyst Allure with Amethyst Noir. I think those two will be really nice together. I was also thinking of maybe doing the Copper Dawn, transitioning into the Triochrome from either Utopian Dream or the Divine Rose 2. But we shall see. Because I think the Divine Rose 2 had more of the chartreuse, and I think the Utopian Dream had more of that, not so much chartreuse, I think. But I also do want to do some one and dones. I want to do a smoky look with the Extreme Vermilion Dusk, and maybe even just a Hypnotic Bronze as well. But we shall see if I want to do those. But for the most part, go to my Instagram page to see the final edits. And I will see you guys next video.